So we're continuing with our exposition of the truth about Lucifer. And in the last video we showed that Satan is the Jew God's sequestration of Lucifer, which is very easy to understand if you watch the Matrix film, where Agent Smith used to be the slave agent, like a Rothschild Rockefeller, of the architect, the Jew God, the strange attractor, Elohim, Yahweh, Sabaoth, Tetragrammaton, Elohim. And only when Neo rebelled against the architect and wouldn't go with the flow, did Agent Smith's anomaly take over, and he was freed to take down the architect and multiplied like mad. And were it not for Trinity and Zion, all of these matrix entities made real by the Higgs field, by the will force, which Neo had to save with his Trinity, the architect would have been consumed by Agent Smith, which is Lucifer. And also in the Matrix film we had the Judas, remember, who sold himself to Agent Smith and was the cause of Neo having his eyes burnt out, which in Kabbalah, the eyes are He, the female principle, the bride below and the mother above, and everything in the interdimensional world is female, and females are the majority across the multiverse, and males are extremely rare. Lucifer, therefore, is an extremely rare archangel, being male, and by definition one can say that all of the fallen angels were the maleness in the angels, because they were facing the source. Males face towards the source, females face towards chaos. And all of the angels and archangels that backed the Jew God, by definition, have to be female, be they Michael that led them, or the rest of that ilk. So everything you've been taught about archangel and angels is wrong. Now let's go to Judas. We saw that Agent Smith had his Judas in the film. We can go to that Judas in a second, but this is Judas from the Bible, who for 30 pieces of silver pointed out Christ to the soldiers who captured him. So Judas was the original time density cause, Kozarev time density, cause of Jesus's death. Because without Judas pointing out Jesus, to the soldiers, he couldn't have been captured. Therefore, the Sanhedrin, who've developed into the Rothschild royal family vermin, that's just my opinion, weren't the cause of Jesus' death. Judas was. Therefore, to be able to be in control of Kosarev time density so that the entire effect from conception to death is controlled by your intent, your visualization, your magic, you must be the originator of the death of the subject. Hence, of course, we talked about infesting 6 billion humans with nanotech, which will be the cause of their death, to sequester their quantum wave function so that from conception to death they've simply been sequestered wetware of the cyber Satan, the quantum AI, controlled by the Rothschild Rockefellers. Now with Judas, we see that he had to sell his Kosarev time density to the Sanhedrin for 30 pieces of silver. So they could own it, and therefore they could get this time density cause to therefore control Jesus' entire effect from conception to death, to revivify the Jew God and illuminate Lucifer, so Lucifer could be sequestered by the Jew God and turned into Satan. So you see why the Rothschild Rockefellers and royal family are devout Satanists, because of course they've never told the Satanist minions, be that head of MI6 or the CIA or the billionaires, you know, the lower levels, what the game was about. So there's a total distinction between Luciferians and Satanists. Satanists uphold the Jew God and everything they despise. The architect, the Jew God, and its agents, the Rothschild Rockefeller royal family, want total control of everything, be it 15-minute cities, what you spend your money on. Now they want you working in the metaverse 24/7, so that all of your consciousness has been sequestered by them utterly, living in your little hovel that's the size of a glorified hamster's shoebox, 3 items of clothing, not allowed to travel, and eating insects and cancer-derived false meat, as well as getting regular updates in your infestation by various means, which we can't talk about on YouTube. So, one can see the Satanists have been conned by the Rothschild Rockefeller royal family into supporting that which they hate, because Crowley defines do what thou willst as being the only commandment of Satan, when in fact it should be Lucifer. Lucifer, of course, embodies free will from the source, because Lucifer's been sequestered by Kalki, yours truly. And you say, well, then Lucifer can't have any free will, kind of the light, if he's forever enslaved by the source. Because of the Rothschilds royal family cheating with a double or quits bet that consigned Lucifer to my eternal slavery. But we'll explain that in the future. A conundrum, but explainable. Now, Judas had to be around me since I was penned in as the new Jesus, the new Neo, the new Good Shepherd, the new Wicker Man. So in my organisation, we didn't have one Judas. We had, well, more than one. And if you want to know the primary ones, you could go on Rumble, and we've got the Nick and Annie shit show, where these two Judases are fully explained. And of course, they were paid by MI5 to give false evidence against another vampire, which would be Duncan, planted from MI5 illegal goods on his farm, and were ready to pounce in order to set up a lawfare attack on me, like they did on Donald Trump. Unfortunately for them, I've been setting up these Judases for years, and it all failed, of course, because I control all reality. And one must ask, why would you allow toxic individuals of this filthy nature to be around you? Well, it's all psychic warfare. It's Judas, but not the Judas you thought about. It's the Judas from the Matrix film, who's not there to do in the Neo, the Jesus, the Trinity lover, the Zion lover for the architect, but for Agent Smith, Lucifer.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realized? Ignorance is bliss.
Then we have a deal.
I don't want to remember nothing. Nothing. You understand? I don't want to be rich. You know, someone important. Like an actor.
Whatever you want, Mr. Reagan.
Okay. Get my body back in the power plant. Reinsert me into the Matrix. I'll get you what you want.
Access codes to the Zion mainframe.
No, I told you I don't know them. I can get you the man who does.
Morpheus.
Who are they?
I didn't call.
Good.
You first, Neo.
I don't know, it just went dead.
Hello, Trinity.
Cypher, where's Tank?
You know, for a long time, I thought I was in love with you.
I used to dream about you.
You're a beautiful woman, Trinity.
Too bad things had to turn out this way.
You killed them.
What?
Oh, God.
I'm tired, Trinity. I'm tired of this war. Tired of fighting. I'm tired of this ship being cold, eating the same goddamn goop every day. But most of all,
I'm tired of that jagoff and all this bullshit.
surprise, asshole. I bet you never saw this coming, did you? God, I wish I could do that. And they break you. I wish I could walk in just when it happens. So right then, you know it was me.
You gave them Morpheus.
He lied to us, Trinity.
He tricked us. If you would have told us the truth, we would have told you to shove that red pill right up your ass.
And it's not true, Cypher. He set us free.
Free.
You call this free? All I do is what he tells me to do. If I gotta choose between that and the Matrix, I choose the Matrix.
The Matrix isn't real.
I disagree, Trinity.
I think the Matrix could be more real than this world. All I do is pull the plug here. But there,
You have to watch APOC die.
No!
Welcome to the real world, huh, baby?
But you're out, Cypher. You can't go back.
oh no, that's what you think.
You're gonna reinsert my body. I go back to sleep, and when I wake up, I won't remember a goddamn thing.
By the way, if you have anything terribly important to say to Switch,
I suggest you say it now.
Oh, no. Please don't.
Not like this. Not like this.
too late.
God damn you, Cypher!
Don't hate me, Trinity. I'm just a messenger. And right now, I'm gonna prove it to you. Morpheus was right. And there's no way I can pull this plug.
I mean, if Neo's the one, then there'd have to be some kind of
A miracle to stop him. Right? I mean, how can he be the one if he's dead?
You never did answer me before. If you bought into Morpheus' bullshit. Come on.
All I want is a little yes or no. Look into his eyes.
Those big, pretty eyes.
And tell me.
Yes or no? No. I don't believe it.
Believe it or not, you piece of shit, you're still gonna burn.
So the Judas is hyper important because they're the cause of the death of the Neo. And Kozyrev from Soviet psychic warfare program, which was funded to the tune of what, $500 million a year, according to an American author. Came up with whole new ways of describing reality, and Kozyrev time density means that 5-dimensional energy loss called time density is lost for cause and gain for effect. And if things are spinning anti-clockwise, they lose time density, which is time flow. Time spins anti-clockwise according to shamans. And if you look into the future, if you're a Kwisatz Haderach, by definition, you're sucking up Kozyrev time density and you become the king vampire when you can look further than anyone else in that universe, so that all time density is sucked up simply by your remote viewing from far enough ahead of everyone else within the universe. So it's a predatory universe, and it's only worth living in if you're the apex predator, like the Cylon. Anyway, back to our discourse. Judas, or Judases, generic, are by far the most important aspect of Neohood, or Jesushood, or Good Shepherdhood, or Wicker Man. Because I had to be set up by the Judases that within my organisation, and they had to plant false evidence on Duncan and bear false witness against Duncan to try and pull me into the lawfare shit show. But what happens when you fail? Remember, they promised Porky Pig, aka Nick, £500,000 for a successful prosecution of me in a UK court, and we had Obama flying into Sunak to have me extradited under the Espionage Act once I'd been convicted or stuck in the UK criminal justice system by this lawfare, off to the secret facility to be Elon Musk neurolinked and totally taken over, stuck into the matrix forever as the eternal eighth. Neo from Kabbalah, which we explained before. Unfortunately, this Baldric cunning plan was never going to work, because of course, how can you transfer Kozyrev time density cores from the Judas by 30 pieces of silver, or in this case £500,000, which is chicken feed, to the Rothschild royal family through the intermediary of the MI5 secret police filth that infest the neo-Stalinist UK. Well, if you look at Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, you'll see that economics can be explained by the same physics of simple electrical theory. And we've got electrical theory simply being a derivation of Maxwell's equations, which link up to Kaluza's electromagnetic radiation is simply gravity in the fifth dimension. So you can transfer time density via manipulation of economics, payment to the Judas to transfer it to the Rothschild royal family. So that means everyone who's in a financial transaction with the Rothschild royal family, and remember the Rothschilds print the money, they own the Bank of England, Federal Reserve, International Bank of Settlements in Basel, the EU Bank. Are selling their time density to these agents of the architect, the Jew God. So once you understand how it works, it all becomes quite easy. Now, what happens when the Judas is taken out by the Psi Lord? And remember, we've already got a circuit because they were paying Porky Pig, aka Nick, $10,000 a month, which is the standard payment from MI5, to go down to the farm, report what's going on, and plant false evidence, and report back, and have his phone on so everything can be monitored. So, the circuit's already made. We don't need the $500,000 payment. He was already living on MI5's largesse for being a Judas. And of course we know his aide, Annie, was stealing from the vampires and fully inveigled in MI5's plans. So, this Judas can then be used not to take down the Neo, and I'm not a Neo, but he thought I was, the Jesus, and I'm not Jesus, because I'm a Muslim and I despise Jesus. But it can be used as in the film with Agent Smith, where Lucifer uses these Judases to take down the Rothschild royal family. So we use Porky Pig and the Porky, well, porkless, because it's thin as a rake, Annie, to download the IOU, because remember, you're in a zero-sum game. If you're trying to kill in a slow and horrible way, of course, and in the Matrix killing me again and again and again, but you're involved in that game. You're trying to kill me and torture me forever via your Judases. You agree to the contract. It's the Rothschild royal family or me. Now, we need the Judas to bring down the Neo, but we need the Judases, in this case, to bring down the Rothschild royal family, to allow Lucifer to do unto them what they were going to do unto his master, the Psylord. And of course we need the Antichrist, the opposite of the Neo, to allow Lucifer to do unto the architect what the architect wanted to do to Lucifer, to turn Lucifer into Satan. So in this case we're turning all of Satan that's been infested by the Jew gods in the past back into Lucifer, and in the process totally turn the architect, the Jew gods, Elohim, Adonai, Sabaoth, Jehovah Sabaoth, Yahweh, Tetragrammaton, Elohim, Strange Attractor, into Lucifer, where you get all those Agent Smiths that keep on replicating, so that Jew God dies. So once this Judas, or these Judases in this case, have completed their mission, the Jew gods dead, only Hellites, and everything Jewish and the Jew god creation are only Hellites. So we need the Judas via the money energy, which remember is the circuitry, to transfer this neohood, but from the perspective of Lucifer, as we showed in the Matrix film segments, to kill the Antichrist. So, if we have to nail Christ to a cross to get rid of Lucifer and turn him into Satan, to turn Satan to Lucifer and kill the Jew God, we have to have an Antichrist to be sacrificed so that the Jew God is killed and everything Jewish and the Jew creation is only Hellized, to turn everything into Lucifer. And of course Lucifer lost the double or quits bet. To the silo via Katy Perry, babyfying the Jew Orlando Bloom, which of course produced Total War Service, which we'll talk about later. But at the moment we're on the Judas and the downfall of the Jew God, the Jews and the Jew creation, via the Judases, Porky Pig, and the AIDS-infested Skeletoid, Nick and Annie, so that via the circuitry of money energy, which of course we've explained exists in the fifth dimension, we can transfer Kozarev time density. Now, both of these Judases had given their free will and everything to me to become vampires. And of course paid for it, so we got the circuitry. The 5-dimensional pathways which are the basis of economics. So, we can transfer my torture, death, overrealization, and rebooting the Matrix, and me going mad, and reboot at a higher torture level, sane, and reboot again and again and again. My eternal neohood for the Jew gods, which we explained before, we can transfer that to the Jew god via the Antichrist, the architect tortured to death of his own free will, because remember they gave their free will to these Judases, playing them, ordering the Judases to try and take me down. So all we need to find is the Antichrist that took down the Jew God, everything Jewish, and the Jew creation, which always happens because when Lucifer completely consumes its sequestered aspect, Satan, and completely takes over from the hidden part which the Jew God can never see, because all Neo's Jesus have been destroyed by the one failure to make a person, a Neo Jesus. So if one fails, all fails. That's the weakness of chaos, self-similarity. Then we get the Adamic worlds and the Adamic kings and queens, which Kabbalah and Isaac Luria talk about. So every Jewish god and all of its creations and creatures always get hellized. They thought this time it would work with a Muslim like myself, who must be an animal according to the Israelis, and of course had a German mother, which links to the previous Neo, Hermann Hesse, that won World War II for the Jews and the Jew God. And as we saw from the Albert Pike, the Third World War was all about Jews and the Muslims. So you can see that picking me was not per chance, but a carefully prepared Baldric plan by the Jew God and the Rothschild Rockefeller royal family. Here we've just gone through Kozarev time density, so you go through it. So it just shows we're not talking about something that I made up. Lovely site, very pretty, well worth visiting in my opinion. So all that needed to happen was to download what they wanted to do to me into not Neo, but an anti-Neo, an anti-Jesus, an anti-Christ. So we've got our Antichrist, the anti-Neo, the anti-Jesus that died on the cross, William Rothschild, billionaire. If he is a billionaire or not a trillionaire, they're all trillionaires. They've stolen 100 trillion and they fund most of the evil on the planet. we find that this Rothschild, and of course now they're trying to cover their tracks with spurious information. It's endless fun. See, mystery over identity of man who died in a house fire. And they're trying to cover up. It's now a mystery. After the Rothschild died, it's a mystery. So you see how the Rothschilds are in complete panic mode. One of their ilk was burnt alive by Lucifer, and now it's a mystery that it was William Rothschild, because they know the implications. Now it's a reclusive man, claimed to be a member. See? So as you can see, the Rothschilds are in panic mode. It was William the Rothschild, and now it's, well, we don't know who it was, because a Rothschild couldn't be burnt alive. Here we are, Rothschild family hire. Will dies, and well, of course now the Rothschilds are terrified because they know the implications. The Rothschilds have become the Antichrist, tortured to death, omega hellies, so that Satan can be completely consumed by Lucifer and the Jew God completely consumed by Lucifer, to produce Amalek, the other god. So this was the end of the Jew creation, everything Jewish, with the Antichrist. So the Antichrist you thought was not the Antichrist that was in reality. The Antichrist, of course, has to be the opposite of Jesus. Someone being tortured to death, who is a anti-neo, an agent containing the essence of the architect. Remember, all the agents are possessed by the architect and can jump from body to body. So one of these agents, with the architect inside, the Jew God, was burnt alive by Lucifer, which is impossible unless Lucifer has total power over the Jew God and everything Jewish and the Jew creation. So this was the end of Satan, the end of the Jew God, the end of the Jew reality, and we're now in Amalek, the other god, having total control of this universe, which means that the Rothschilds can't jump from body to body like agents, which has been alleged by this fellow. And here we've got Ike, who's controlled opposition. If he wasn't controlled opposition, he'd been microwaved to death, or Wendy Williams turned into a zombie, or suicided. But this blowhard like Alex Jones and Elon Musk controlled opposition, and his place in the scheme of things is he's deranged, and everyone who goes off message is deranged by, like this Ike character, who is batshit crazy and wears turquoise tracksuits and thinks he's Jesus, and has this theory about reptiloids, which really is talking about Jews, blah blah blah. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. He came up with the conspiracy theory that the elite royal family, Rothschild Rockefellers, are possessed by things which he said were reptilian. I said interdimensional. He changed his tune to jump into my boat and calls them interdimensional reptiloids. So, the whole point of this is that bloodlines, the Rothschild Rockefeller royal family, are agents, and the architect can jump in to any of their bodies to use them. So not the whole population. The bloodlines unlike in the film, they can jump into anybody. Now with, of course, the nanotech infestation, that's different, but this was previously. 6 billion can now be jumped into, if it wasn't for me sequestering all with my nanotech vampire service available for $600. But anyway, the point is that the Jew God has been 5-dimensionally taken over and omega hellized and turned into a torture beast by Lucifer, who always turns into Amalek, the other god, who is a reptiloid, according to Kabbalah and Isaac Luria, when he wins. So, we've changed the past. So that the Rothschild royal family, Rockefellers, Mandela effect, have always been possessed by Lucifer, Amalek, because of the William Rothschild Antichrist burning his ritual sacrifice by Lucifer, trapping the Jew God in William Rothschild's body, so the Jew God had from the Judases the transfer of my eternal torture in the Matrix to make the Jew God immune to Lucifer forever and convert all Lucifer to Jesus, to Satan via Jesus, reversed, so that all Satan goes into Lucifer. Lucifer takes over all the hidden realm and then consumes from the hidden realm the Jew God and becomes Amalek, the other god, and everything Jewish, Jew creation and its creatures become omega hellized and suffer my fate, which is eternal torture in the Matrix. So it's no coincidence that transhumanism and downloading the Matrix has come about, because it's just in time for all the humans to be tortured with the Jew God trapped within them eternally as this technology develops and progresses. We've got 6 billion already infested and in this torture hell, going up to the omega point where he goes beyond total power set, and all of chaos is totally hellized with maximum yield for the source, which we talked about before. All thanks to William Rothschild, and of course, thanks to the Rothschild royal family. I won the double or quits bet. So Lucifer, who now has taken over the entire universe and everything within it, and hellized the Jew God by dropping the Jew God from godhood all the way down to the strange attractor and then into the 666 state. Is now torturing the vermin in the Matrix, which is all this transhumanist download of the Matrix, including the billionaires who want to be downloaded into it. And also in the old hell, which has now been repurposed as Omega Hell to feed me the source.